the toughest challenge of his career, considering Cuadras' resume and size. And we begin round one. Cuadras jabbing to the body and showing that movement that Rudy Hernandez's trainer wants from him in this fight against Chocolatito, Roy.
Yeah, Cuadras comes out right away, Max, to try to go ahead and get it started. You know, he knows that it's going to be a long night for him, so the quicker he gets engaged, the better off for him.
This is going to be a really interesting matchup of footwork. Chocolatito really good at cutting off the ring, not just following his opponent, but forcing him to the place he wants. The ropes, the corner. And Cuadras, with good footwork of his own, has said he needs to stay one step ahead of Chocolatito.
Good footwork and good punching power too, Max. He's not a bad puncher.
And naturally talented. Cuadras has an athletic ability that is obvious when you watch him fight. A quality.
Stop, no punch. Straight back, straight back. Guys, watch your feet.
Chocolatito applying pressure. He's a fighter like Triple G, who can apply pressure without throwing punches because his footwork is so good. He's constantly in a position to hit his opponent, and he hits so hard his opponent knows that he frequently achieves a successful offensive position, forcing his opponent to move and expend energy.
And that's what he's doing right now. He's making Cuadras burn a lot of energy early, cutting the ring off, keeping that pressure on, staying close to him, making him fight when he does not want to fight. That's how he makes you uncomfortable in the rings. And we talk about Cuadras' movement, but Chocolatito has some of the best footwork laterally that I've ever seen. He cuts the ring off quicker, easier, and smoother than most anybody that I know. Good uppercut, up jab by Cuadras.
Chocolatito is here applying a little bit more energetic pressure than we're used to seeing him apply in the first round. I think he understands the challenge in front of him and knows he cannot wait.
He cannot wait and cannot let this guy get in the fight, because if Cuadras gets confidence with the personality that he has already, can you imagine what that would mean?
Cuadras has fought a good first round and yet was not able to impose what he wanted to do on Chocolatito, although I suppose you could say the same is true in reverse. In round one, we saw two world-class fighters, one looking to move, the other to stalk. No big fireworks, but both impressive in their display of skill, particularly in their positioning and footwork. Chocolatito, Roy, one of those guys where his opponent can do everything he's supposed to do, and still Chocolatito can make it turn out bad for him.
And that's kind of what happened with Cuadras last round. He did everything he wanted to do, but I think Chocolatito still landed the better punches. He kept the better foot position, and he's made Cuadras burn a lot of unnecessary energy like he's doing right now.
And Chocolatito is almost running at Cuadras right now. Cuadras may have to land something significant to make Chocolatito respect him, because for whatever reason, Chocolatito doesn't seem very worried about return fire at the moment.
No, he doesn't.
And Cuadras can punch.
We assume.
Well, 26 of his 34 opponents know that he can punch.
Yeah, but we don't know those 26 guys. We know who's in front of right now.
Yeah, right. We know none of them were Chocolatito.
Exactly. Oh, good hook by Cuadras, though.
Yep.
Good right hand by Chocolatito.
But Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez walks through it and continues to apply. I'm not used to seeing him apply this kind of almost frantic pressure this early in the fight. Like many pressure fighters, it takes Chocolatito sometimes a few rounds to really get smoking. Here, it's not the case.
You know why? You know why, Max? Because he sparred with him before. He knows him. He knows what's in front of him. He knows what it takes to get to him. When he sparred with him, he probably sparred with him in 3 and 4 round increments, but he knew that if he just kept the pressure on, he would get to it. So he came out and get right to the job here.
Chocolatito fights nothing but high-quality fighters. And McWilliams Arroyo was no different in his last fight. But I think Chocolatito understands that what he did against Arroyo is not good enough against Cuadras. He won it most of the rounds. He won a decision, but he didn't knock his man out, and he didn't look like the normal Chocolatito that we're used to seeing. Tonight, he looks like he's on a mission.
Well, he got to break Cuadras' will, and that's what he's trying to do early. Not let Cuadras ever feel like he's in the fight, because if you do, Cuadras can become a problem with the matter of self-confidence, with the level of self-confidence that he has. Good left uppercut and body shot.
Chocolatito, I hope people can see this. The way he rolls punches off his shoulder, the counters off his shoulder so they don't land cleanly. The way he throws both hands and varies the speed and power of his punches to the head and body, it is masterful. Rudy Hernandez in the corner, normally Chocolatito's cut man, who's working Cuadras' corner as the trainer for tonight's fight, is well aware of the problems Chocolatito presents as an opponent, was well aware of it, eyes wide open going into this fight, believes that Cuadras has the kind of athletic quality to upset Chocolatito, as more than one observer has felt. And there, Cuadras landed a really nice right hand, Royce.
Yeah, but not really much afterwards, Max. You can't hit him with one punch, Chocolatito that is, and think that's going to stop the show, because it's not. We saw Brian Valoria almost drop him with a body shot, and it changed nothing. He just didn't throw a few punches for a minute, but he kept that same more aggressive attitude up.
Rudy Hernandez has also said that he believes, as great as Alexis Arguello was, one of the most respected and beloved champions in the history of boxing, he believes Roman Gonzalez is even better, that Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez is already the greatest Nicaraguan fighter who ever lived. Do you think he's there yet, Roy?
Well, you have to agree with that, because if he made it, if Arguello took his time out to train him and teach him everything that he knew, and then along with the things he picked up on his own, I mean, 1978 Camaros are not as good as 2008 Camaros. You have to get better with time. So if he's not better than Arguello, then there's something wrong with him.
Well, he's like a 2016 Mack truck tonight.
Exactly, a 2016 version of Alexis Arguello, and it has to be better.
I don't know if I agree with that yet, but Chocolatito's getting there. I mean, here, as usual, he is taking a tremendous fighter, a world-class fighter, among the best in the division, and moving up in weight to do it. And he's turning Cuadras into every other opponent he's fought. That is a guy who already, as much as good work as he's doing, seems to be holding on for dear life, and it's only the 3rd round.
Yeah, I've seen Arguello take apart a lot of guys, and I've seen his footwork, and I've seen him cut the ring off, but this kid is something far more remarkable footwork-wise than I think Arguello has ever been. And he has all the other tools that Arguello possesses too, so he has to be better than Arguello.
Arguello, I think, fought better opposition so far, although Chocolatito's fought very good opposition, but Chocolatito's footwork is extraordinary. Arguello could be given problems by movers. That doesn't appear to be the case with Chocolatito.
And not that Arguello is not a great fighter, that takes nothing away from Arguello, but Arguello would be mad if we didn't think his pupil had surpassed where he was, because that means that he didn't make no true progress in teaching the man how to fight.
Really good round for Chocolatito, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Start round 4, 3 in the books, all appearing to go to Chocolatito, except maybe the first, but let's find out. Harold Letterman, how do you have it after 3?
Okay, Max, I've got a 3-0, 30-27, Chocolatito Gonzalez. You know, he puts on pressure, backs the guy up. His effective aggressiveness is tremendous. As a matter of fact, in the 2nd round, Carlos Cuadras was absolutely running away. I mean, running away. Chocolatito landing the hardest shots, putting on the pressure, doing more damage. I love those high top shoes he wears also. 3-0, Chocolatito.
Cuadras, a decorated amateur, as we mentioned. A very self-possessed fighter, super confident, really talented. The naturally larger man campaigning successfully in the heavier division, undefeated, and yet is in against just a phenomenon tonight.
Yeah, but look like Cuadras is doing better this round, Max. He started this round out better than he started the last 2 out.
That can be disheartening against Roman Gonzalez, Roy, because you do some good early work, and then he's on you, just like this.
Yes.
Cuadras called him out after his last fight. Careful what you wish for. Because there's Gonzalez. Chocolatito's straight right hand, Roy, it's so precise, and the effects are so obvious as soon as it lands. It reminds me of Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. The way he can throw it as a lead, he can throw it as, you know, at the end of a 1-2. It's so accurate and effective.
Can throw it anytime he gets ready, just like that. The Cuadras is fighting back.
Yes, he is.
And Chocolatito needs to defend himself a little better, because a good shot may sit him down just coming in without defense like this.
You're right. Chocolatito's left eye is showing the signs of some of those shots Cuadras is landing. Well, Chocolatito can be hit. He mentions, I asked him what's the difference between him and Triple G. He says he bends at the waist a little more than Triple G. Triple G's a bigger puncher than he is, even in a pound-for-pound sense, I guess. But when you're as aggressive as Roman Gonzalez, you're going to get hit some, and he got hit just then.
Good uppercut by Cuadras.
But he, as usual in this fight, is doing more of the hitting. He's throwing more, he's landing more, he's landing at a higher percentage, and he's landing the better shots.
And he's mentally wearing Cuadras down.
Because it wears you down when you do great work, and it doesn't seem to matter.
Cuadras is still in the fight.
And maybe one of the reasons that wasn't thrown harder by Cuadras off the proper footing is because if you throw a more traditional right hand, Chocolatito slips it. You want to hit him, you got to kind of throw it almost like a jab.
You better throw it like a jab, or he'll slip it for sure.
Chocolatito's left eye looks a little worse for the wear, even since the end of the third round, to my eye at least. Good left hook upstairs by Chocolatito.
And Cuadras' face is holding up really well. We don't see any damage. This has to be a confidence booster for him.
Cuadras slips the right hand upstairs and ties up Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Ooh, nice footwork there, Roy. Switching his feet to land the left hand by Cuadras.
Yeah, he's a very good. Oh,
whoa! No, it was a
shot.
Temporarily, I thought that shot actually turned Roman Gonzalez around, but it was a slip.
Good body shot.
Good, big confidence from Cuadras. Remember a couple fights ago, Brian Valoria hurt Chocolatito badly with a body shot. Of course, he was stopped later in the same round, but Cuadras a more effective overall fighter than Valoria at this point in Valoria's career.
Oh, good shot.
Good left hook upstairs by Cuadras. So Chocolatito reminded to pick his hands up to block the next one, and goes right back on the attack.
Now Cuadras being Cuadras.
He's the kind of fighter that feeds off energy, feeds off the crowd. Cuadras feeds off his own success. But Chocolatito's not bothered by any of that, just goes right back on the attack. He's a machine.
Good combination by Cuadras.
It was, although Chocolatito in the middle of that combination landed two really good shots.
Yes, some good body shots.
I think I'd have rather been Roman Gonzalez there, Roy. Now the mouse under the left eye of Chocolatito, indicating that Cuadras is landing that right hand. Good right hand by the challenger. He's the challenger tonight. Roman Gonzalez searching for his belt, a belt of one kind or another in his 4th weight division.
Good body shot.
Really good body shot. With the left hand by Chocolatito. And Cuadras flurries. Cuadras has had his best round here in the 4th. Excuse me, the 5th. Really, people say the legendary this or that, but that applies in this case. You know, because of the quirk of boxing scoring, where unless you score a knockdown, you almost never get a 10-8 round. My sense has been Chocolatito's been dominant so far tonight, but I could easily see a scorecard. You're looking at Harold Letterman's there, gave all 5 rounds to Chocolatito. I could easily see a scorecard where the 1st and 5th were given to Cuadras, making this a close fight on some cards.
Well, we still got 7 more rounds to go, Max, and Cuadras is looking better now than he did in round 2, 3, and 4. See that?
Yep, Cuadras is not discouraged somehow.
Not at all.
By the relentless onslaught, the relentless and accurate onslaught of Chocolatito.
Good hook by Cuadras.
Cuadras is, as I said, sees himself as a star, Roy, and is not so ready to give up his belt.
Not at all.
Chocolatito not only has a mouse under the left eye, I think there's some swelling on the left side of his face. And the right, there's a little cut, it looks like, over his right eye now. Over Roman Gonzalez's right eye. There it is.
Something he's not used to, for sure.
It's going to be interesting to see how Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez fares over the second half of this fight. He's had 45 pro fights, all wins. But he's been in against some excellent fighters and some very tough fights. He's 29 years old. In this weight area, fighters tend to age earlier than in heavier weight classes. He's 29 years old, 45 fights, and he's in tough tonight.
Kind of reminds you of the Michael Carvajal career.
Let him go, let him go, let him go.
Cut over one eye, swollen on the other side of his face, and on the attack. Chocolatito.
Cuadras looking for something big right here.
This is something else that Roman Gonzalez is really good at, Roy. He seems to be almost taking a breather, even as he's active, not throwing those heavy shots, but touching him, varying the speed on his punches. Setting up Cuadras, it looks, for the heavy shots that follow those little tap, tap, tap shots.
And Cuadras' footwork is saving him from that big shot, Max, because he's doing what he usually does, and it usually lands against guys, but it's not landing against Cuadras tonight. Oh, good hook by Cuadras.
It was. I thought the hook shook Chocolatito up at the end of that round. For the first time, Chocolatito looking like he's been through the ringer in this fight, looking a little discouraged. Maybe Harold Letterman, how do you have the first half of the fight scored?
Okay, Max, I got it 5-1. 59-55, Chocolatito Gonzalez. You know, Max, the problem with Cuadras is he runs so much that he doesn't get his feet set. In other words, if he'd stop running and whack Chocolatito with some good hard shots, you see what he did there? You know, he'd be winning more rounds. The problem is he's always on his horse. I mean, he's done so much running away in this fight that it's hurt his punching power. There's no doubt about it. Well, you know, of course, when they stand toe-to-toe, Chocolatito's dangerous. 5-1, Chocolatito Gonzalez.
I think I agree with you for a couple rounds earlier in the fight. I don't think he's been running recently. I think it's been purposeful movement, and he's had some success. Although Chocolatito here is finding success of his own again.
Cuadras right now is in much better position than Chocolatito. If you say right now, who would you rather be? You'd rather be Cuadras right now because things are going in his favor more. That doesn't mean that, like I said, he's going to win it, but things are really in his favor right now because he's so happy to be alive and up and well at this point in this fight that he's taking chances that normal guys we see in this situation wouldn't take.
Well, I mean, I think so far the question is who's taken the other's power better. And Chocolatito's carried his power up weight divisions with him. But so far, at least in the last couple rounds, I feel Cuadras is shaking up Chocolatito with his power shots more than the reverse.
Yes, and if he lands one to the body at the right time, you could see something disastrous.
There's also the optics, which Chocolatito's face is starting to fall apart. There's blood smeared over it. There's swelling. His eye is closing. And big left hook from Cuadras. Cuadras' face is relatively unmarked.
And the ref did come over between rounds and say that the cut was called for a punch, not a head, but the cut on Chocolatito's eye.
Well, the emotional stability of Cuadras to withstand that early barrage by Chocolatito where it looked like he was just being outclassed, not give up on himself, and put himself in a position now to be in a very competitive fight, although he's starting to take a little beating over the last 30 seconds. Cuadras is.
Good hook by Chocolatito.
That's the downside, the drawback of doing what Harold Letterman suggested and standing more toe-to-toe, or at least not running as much with Chocolatito. It puts you in range for those combinations.
Well, Harold is from the phone booth era, so he want to see the fight in the phone booth anyway.
Really good back and forth round between two top-notch champions. The man most considered the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, that's Chocolatito, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, and Mexican rising star, undefeated belt holder at 115 pounds, Carlos Cuadras. Naoya Inoue, considered by most the best 115-pounder in the world, if it's not Cuadras, looking on ringside, taking in the proceedings, seeing who his likely big money matchup is going to be against. Most presume it will be Chocolatito, but the way Cuadras has fought in this fight, I could see where he's very much in it on the scorecards, Roy.
I can too, Max. A good shot by Chocolatito. That's why he can't stand there with Chocolatito, because if you stand there with him, he's gonna punish you.
Rudy Hernandez, normally Chocolatito's cut man. In this case, Cuadras' trainer said that one of the things he worries about in this fight is Cuadras has the mentality, the spirit of a fighter. And so even though movement is in his best interest, at times he's afraid he's going to get a little too brave against Chocolatito. Cuadras looking at Rudy for instructions and is reminded to move his hands and then move his feet. Throw those combinations and move.
A good shot.
Yes, Chocolatito normally when he catches his opponent the way he just did, when he sets him up for those big power punches, they crumble. Not the case against the larger, it sounds funny to say larger, 115-pound, natural 115-pounder Carlos Cuadras.
Well, it just so happened that Cuadras comes into the fight 3 pounds heavier than him anyway.
Stop.
Big is a relative term, and it's relative here with these flyweight, super flyweight fighters. But you can see Chocolatito's power not quite here what it was in the lighter, even lighter rather, weight divisions.
I don't know if that's the case, Max. I have to give some of that to Cuadras. He's just taking it better. I think Chocolatito's power is still the same because he's delivering some vicious shots. It's just that this kid is taking them a lot better than we ever seen anybody take them.
Could be, although I'm reminded that in his last fight, Chocolatito's last fight, he also went the distance against Arroyo, McWilliams Arroyo, who's a good fighter.
So that means the punching power is probably still the same.
Look out of it, guys.
Oh, good shot by Cuadras.
Yeah, they exchanged left hooks there. Little uppercut flurry by Cuadras, which is what he looked into the corner, and Rudy Hernandez told him earlier in the round he had some success, went back to it, and now a cut over Cuadras' right eye. Here we are in round 9. Roy, I saw a look on Chocolatito's face I am not used to seeing. I don't know if I've ever seen it before, even in the Estrada fight, a very tough fight. He looked disheartened coming into this round.
I don't think he's disheartened. I think it's a little fatigue. He also sees the blood coming from Cuadras' eye now too, so that would be a little bit of a confidence builder, but his corner told him a good thing. They told him, don't worry about the head, go to the body. And that's what he should be doing. And it's the same thing that Cuadras should be doing, really, but both of them still seem to want to land headshots because they want to knock the other guy out.
Well, Chocolatito has a target now, that cut over the right eye of Cuadras, which was ruled an accidental headbutt, not the result of a punch, the official ruling.
Body shot might have hurt Cuadras a little bit there.
We have reason to believe that the cut was opened up by a punch from Chocolatito. We'll show you between rounds coming up. Meantime, Chocolatito on the attack as usual. It's difficult to call the blow-by-blow action with Chocolatito because it's a non-stop, steady stream of lefts and rights. Uppercut, left hand. Right hand over the top by Chocolatito.
Good right hand by Chocolatito. Oh, good body shot by
Cuadras doing what you wanted, Roy, going to the body with the left hand.
You got to do that, Max. If he does that, he'll get better results.
Chocolatito slipping some of those shots, taking a half step back, throwing the jab, blocking with his hands up high. Little tap with the left hand by Chocolatito. Return fire from Cuadras. Cuadras with 3-4 good right hands. Mixed in a left there too. Chocolatito tap with the left hand, landed a nice right uppercut.
Chocolatito seems to have
good
blood.
hook, Roy.
Yeah, seems to have blood from the right ear. A good hook by Chocolatito.
Chocolatito now winning these exchanges because he's not only focusing on his offense where he's catching Cuadras, but he's wary of Cuadras' return fire and slipping them with little half-step backs and upper body movement.
And countering off them. That's what's most devastating.
That's what we're used to seeing with Chocolatito, winning those exchanges. When both fighters are flurrying, his are the punches landing, and he's, for the most part, avoiding return fire. At times, that hasn't been the case tonight. Good right hand from Cuadras. Really big right hand. Chocolatito showing a magnificent chin, as always. That was actually a question, I think, coming into this fight, fighting a bigger, maybe stronger opponent.
I mean, the cut was caused by a head, but around 8. But around 9, the left hook opened it up more.
I was certainly incorrect when I said I thought it may have been a punch. It was absolutely a headbutt. The officials got it right that caused that cut. Accidental headbutt. Harold Letterman, how do you have it scored through 9?
Okay, Max, I got an 88-83, 7 rounds to 2. Chocolatito Gonzalez. You know, he just lands the harder punches. You gotta give him credit for effective aggressiveness. You gotta give him credit for good defense. He's just doing more in each and every round. Cuadras is trying like heck, there's no question, you know? Throws a lot of punches. I don't think he's very effective with his shots. He does run a lot, and he does hold a lot. But all in all, I think Chocolatito's winning these rounds. 7 rounds to 2, Chocolatito Gonzalez.
I don't agree that Cuadras runs a lot. I wouldn't call it running quite. There was some running earlier. Since then, I think it's been, for the most part, intelligent movement. I also don't know if Chocolatito's landed the harder shots, because Cuadras has landed some hard shots. I do think Chocolatito's probably winning the fight on points, in spite of some of the good work Cuadras is doing.
I agree with you, Max. I think he's doing some good work, too. But I think Cuadras' punches to Chocolatito's face have probably had more effect than Chocolatito's punches have had on him, because all he has is a cut from the headbutt, which was opened up more by a punch. But Chocolatito's face is worse than we ever seen it, I think.
In the old days, the championship rounds were 13, 14, and 15. Now they're 10, 11, and 12, so we're in the championship rounds. And the question is, how will Cuadras respond? In the past, his punch output has decreased in the second half of fights. He and Rudy Hernandez knew going in he had to be in the best shape of his career, because Chocolatito's stamina, among his great qualities, he's always in tip-top condition. and his stamina is excellent. Big left hand over the top by Chocolatito. Cuadras had that cut open up now over the right eye, but he's throwing some good combinations, and he's catching Chocolatito on the way in.
This is one hell of a boxing match, Max. You got two good fighters here, son. Yes, I mean, two guys really going at it. Punches coming from everywhere, hard punches, soft punches, long punches, short punches. These guys are really doing it, Max.
Good left hook to the body by Roman Gonzalez, Roy. A good sneaky hook to the body, and that seemed, I think, to take a little wind out of Cuadras' sails, but he continues to throw those uppercut flurries.
I don't think nothing can take the wind out of Cuadras' sails. Matter of fact, Chocolatito looks spent right here. Very spent, Max. Look at him. I've never seen him look that spent before.
I haven't either.
Guys, I need that done really good. That was a puddle.
Yeah, good.
All right, thank you. Ready? Ready? Time in.
Start round 11, Roy. What's so impressive about Cuadras here tonight is Chocolatito knew he needed to be better than he was last time out against Arroyo. Secluded himself in Big Bear, trained with Triple G, felt he gave himself the absolute best chance to present the best version of himself tonight, and in spite of that, we have not seen his face like this. We have not seen him gassed like this. We have not seen him in as competitive a fight since maybe the Estrada fight.
Well, Max, you fight a guy who's not used to losing, and you got to teach him how to lose. Cuadras is a guy who does not know how to lose, so you got to teach him how to lose, and that's not an easy thing to do.
It's going to be interesting to see how some of these rounds are scored. There have been several that could have gone either way, I feel.
Cuadras definitely looks like the fresher fighter right now.
And when you look like the fresher fighter in a competitive round, you may get the benefit of the doubt from the judges.
I don't know, that was a pretty vicious uppercut right there that he took, though. A right uppercut halted all the aggressiveness that he had just then. Well, now he's back at it. Look at that. Look at that. Outworking Chocolatito right now. Something we're not used to seeing either, Max.
Boxing fans unfamiliar with Cuadras before tonight, I think will win, lose, or draw, be quite familiar with him going forward.
Of course. And this is what I like about Chocolatito. He goes through all of that, and he comes back stronger than he was before it started, you know?
Yes.
Same thing he did to Brian Valeria.
Yup.
Went through that career-ending body shot almost, and came back and ended up winning by stoppage.
This is a conditioned fighter, Chocolatito. It's the reason he can take the shots the way he does. It's the reason he can continue to throw high-volume combinations with force in the 11th round of a grueling fight against the top competitor.
He better watch himself, though, because that top competitor has not quit yet.
Work out of it, guys. Work out of it.
Cuadras holding, but Chocolatito seeming willing to oblige just then to take a breather, looks to me.
Chocolatito is really spent, Max.
But when a fighter tortures himself in training camp, you get into the best
good
position
body
you can.
shot.
Yes,
Oh.
yes, yep.
That hurt. Yes, that hurt.
That's where
That hurt
he went
again.
right back to the same
Yes, he's
spot
smart.
Cuadras did.
He should have went back again.
He may.
That hurt.
Last round, guys. Keep it clean.
12th and final round of a fantastic fight between two of the bright lights in the lightest divisions in boxing. Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez and Carlos Cuadras. Cuadras full of confidence in the final round against Chocolatito. A man many, if not most, consider the best in the business in any weight class. Looking for a title belt in his 4th division. Something his idol and mentor, Alexis Arguello, was unable to do. Something no other Nicaraguan fighter in history has done. Big left hook. With Cuadras' back close to the ropes. And the outcome of this fight seemingly still in the balance. Cuadras.
I think Cuadras' corner should have told him to go for the knockout this round.
Because to us it appears he's down on the card.
Well, that too, but at the same time, if he goes for a knockout and goes hard to the body, it would neutralize a lot of what Chocolatito does and bring Chocolatito down with him, because if you do all this work and you don't bring Chocolatito down with you, then he comes back with an onslaught that is going to be out of this world.
What fantastic action in the middle of the ring in the 12th round. Let's not forget, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez seemed to be hurt by a body shot and had his back on the ropes to end the 11th.
There he comes with that onslaught.
And Cuadras, the Mexican star, is swinging from his heels with looping power shots now, giving Chocolatito counterpunching opportunities, but also giving himself a chance to win by knockout.
That's what he should have did.
Chocolatito taking advantage of the looping punches now, landing straight punches of his own. Cuadras breathing with his mouth open.
He's been doing that since round 1, Max.
Backed into the corner temporarily now, almost on the ropes, keeping his back just off them.
With an uppercut by Chocolatito.
30 seconds left in this terrific super flyweight fight.
And this has been a good fight, Max. A very good fight. Good uppercut by Cuadras.
Both men leaving it all out in the middle of the ring. Cuadras maybe exceeded expectations of some. Was it enough?
What a fight. What a fight.
Not just because of the back and forth action, the shift in momentum, the stakes, all those things were terrific, but it was contested, with all of those elements, it was contested at the highest skill level. My favorite kind of boxing match, Roy.
Most definitely.
Harold, tell us about the judges.
Okay, Max, you know, it's interesting. They got one of my favorite judges from California, Max DeLuca. I think he's one of the best in the world, really. Does a great job all the time. Robin Hecko from Illinois doesn't have that much world title experience. And Kathy Leonard from North Carolina certainly does not have that, you know, enough world title experience to be in this fight tonight. But be as it may, 3 good judges. We're hoping for a good score.
I think 8-4. Gonzalez is a good score, Harold. Let's see how the actual judges scored it. 8-4 seems about right. I could see 7-5. I wonder if any judges had it 6-6 or maybe even for Cuadras. There were several rounds that could have gone either way. I thought the first and the fifth, Harold, you gave them both to Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, but I could see where someone might have given them to Cuadras, and that fight's a draw. Cuadras, meantime, an attraction in Mexico, a rising star in the lighter divisions, has done nothing to dim his star. If anything, it's shining as brightly or more brightly than ever, Roy.
You better believe it. We got one Mexican guy not fighting the best fighter in the division, another Mexican guy begging for the best in the next division up. I mean, how much more could you ask for?
We await the official decision. Let's go to Joe Martinez.
Wow.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds, we go to the scorecards. Primero vamos a darle un aplauso para una tremenda pelea. How about a big hand for both of these warriors? And here are the scoring totals. Judge Kathy Leonard, 117-111. Max DeLuca, 116-112. Robert Hecko, 115-113. All four your winner by unanimous decision. And new WBC Super Flyweight Champion of the World, Román El Chocolatito